Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Crusade. This is season 1, episode number 5. This episode is called Visitors from Down the Street, which is an odd title because I'm like, well, we're in space, we're traveling through space, we don't really have streets in space. So it's going to be really interesting to find out what this one is about. Last couple of episodes have been quite intriguing in terms of like Galen, because obviously we've got Gideon with this box that has a voice in it telling him not to trust Galen. Then we go down to this planet where we learn there's another techno mage down there and people start dying. And then the next episode we're on another planet where there's another techno mage and he's protecting these people from the ground being drilled because there's a nutrient in the water that might help the plague back home. And he's creating these dragons and these illusions to try and scare off Earth Alliance IPX so that these people can basically live in peace. And they had to come to an understanding in the end. And at one point, I genuinely just thought like Gideon was just like, let this guy die. And then I genuinely thought that the guy died. Alwyn, I think his name was. And I was like, oh my God, they've just killed Ed Woodward. What are they doing? This is absolutely insane. This is just boggling my mind. And then he wasn't dead. So I was like, oh, I love this. This is brilliant. So like, it's going to be interesting moving forward because Galen himself seemed to have an affinity with that planet. And then, you know, the other guy had said to him, oh, maybe someday you come back and this could be your home. Who knows? I'm looking forward to watching this one. So let's go.
Yes. Captain, you're needed on the bridge.
Because we know they're smelly.
What is it? We're picking up a distress signal. 1,500 clicks to starboard.
Identification?
Unknown, sir.
Oh.
Object is 12 meters in diameter. Short-range engines. Markings and distress signal would seem to indicate a life pod.
Oh.
Looks like a first contact situation.
Aye, sir.
They're usually bad.
We're reading 2 life signs.
We can't leave him out here to die, Lieutenant. Send out a rescue team, bring her aboard. Make sure there's a translator standing by.
It's amazing just how vast this ship is. Oh, hi.
Step, and I'll kill you. You in charge here?
I'm the captain.
Good. I want my ship recharged and clear to leave.
We can do that.
And I want him.
That we can't do.
Why do they want him?
Well, I'll take somebody else, but one of you is going with me.
Oh, what's he picking up on?
Why are you doing this? We just saved your life.
Don't give me that! You're not make me disappear like everyone else. I'm going back, and this time I'm taking proof.
What proof?
Oh. I genuinely panicked and thought it was going to be like another Lita situation where she made that Drazi turn the gun on himself.
Questioning. Is that what you call it now? Is that its code word for torture and murder? You can kill us, but you can't kill the truth!
Is he alright?
You alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. That's just a strain. I'm not used to contact with alien minds.
Did
Oh.
you have a chance to look around while you were in there?
Negative. Showing that we can obey the new regs is all that stands between us and the creation of a new Psi Corps. I'm not going to be the one to mess that up.
A new one? Where's
All
the
I got
old
are
one?
Emotions. They're confused, desperate, determined, and deeply frightened.
Of what?
Us.
Para apoyarnos para si plata.
Oh. I feel like I'm in like an old detective show. Hide. Oh, that's a terrible place to hide. She's visible through the window. Hello?
Lisa,
Ducati, is that you? I came back to the office.
you shouldn't be there. It's dangerous. They're watching.
I had to check just in case they left anything behind.
Who's watching?
Durkani, they burnt the files. There's nothing left except for what we grabbed on the way out. What are we gonna do?
Well, you always said you wanted to go places you've never been. Now's the time. We can't go home, and we can't go to the authorities without the proof. But there's one place we can go where we can find the proof.
Where's that?
Out there.
I guess it's easier to get coffee now.
That looks like they've come down.
Looks could be deceiving.
Save me from myself. Had the last cup of coffee in here. Not as good as a genuine article, but
Oh, okay.
it'll do.
I know a lady who can help.
You know what else I miss besides real coffee? Wind.
Unless you live in the north of England.
That's the way
And
it
it's
sounds
hell.
good.
Dr. Chambers just finished going over the latest readings from the Brig med scanner. Despite appearances, their biology, especially their cardiopulmonary and neural systems, is very different from our own.
And why do they dress like us? Hell, they even speak English.
Yes, but it's not their native language. EEG readouts indicate a high level of neural processing whenever they talk to the guards.
Okay.
Proving that they're translating their own language into English.
Exactly. Now, I've gone over all the alien contact logs.
That's cool.
Wired back to Earth for more information, but so far, there is no record of a species like this on our charts. As far as I can tell, this is the first time our races have met.
And how do they know the language?
I have no idea.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to ask them.
I can do it if you'd like.
Be like the
First
Drac,
contact
maybe.
protocol is still in effect. It's captain's prerogative. And I'm
They
curious.
knew
I'll do it.
Minbari because of the Minbari that they came into contact with. They've obviously been in contact with us before. No one knows about it.
All this time, I thought you were just
Crazy? Certifiable.
deluded. But I was wrong. These aliens really do exist.
Hope I'm not intruding. Let's see how you were doing. Make sure you're being treated all right.
I've been in worse places, but you know all about that, don't you?
No, he knows nothing.
What are you going to do with us?
Well, that depends on you. We could put you back in your life pod, but it only has about another day of breathable air. We're not really in a position to take you home, and so far, you haven't given me any reason to recharge your life pod.
Given our past history, you'll forgive me if I don't believe you.
What past history?
Ah, yeah.
We've checked our files. There's no record of any prior contact between our species.
No, I'm sure there wouldn't be.
Let's just take this one step at a time. You're saying that there has been contact between our races?
Yes.
That's correct.
But there's no proof of that, aside from your knowledge of English. And you could have gotten that by intercepting broadcasts that left our world hundreds of years ago.
There's proof, all right. It just keeps being erased every time someone finds it.
Ah, everything in the office was burnt.
You know the truth.
And what is the truth?
Your people have been visiting my planet for centuries. You've ruined lives, devastated parts of my world,
Oh.
and helped create certain high-placed agencies within the government to conceal those facts. We sent long-range probes out to neighboring stars, but officially they didn't find any
Life?
sign of intelligent life elsewhere in the universe.
You say officially.
That's always been the party line. But then the sightings started.
It's always a party line.
For years, strange craft have been seen hovering in the sky over rural areas, seen by reputable people, businessmen, farmers, law enforcement. Here.
This is a blimp. I've never seen one of them personally, only in history books, but it's...
According to our government, what you're holding in your hand is a picture of swamp gases. And this is a drawing made by a witness when one of the ships crashed in a desert area on our world.
I love drawings. Like
They
when
were
people
6
think
foot
they've seen
tall,
alien ships and things.
Had hair on their heads and small round eyes.
Like you.
Our government tried to dismiss the whole thing, said it was just
a weather balloon.
You've heard this story.
Somewhere.
I told you a moment ago that we sent out probes to other stars. Well, one of them sent back this image as it passed over your world. Because our government maintains there's no life on other planets, they insist that those aren't faces.
Oh.
This is Mount Rushmore on my world. That's Earth.
Well, then you admit that all this is true.
No, it isn't.
But you just said
That it is my world, but that doesn't mean that we're doing anything to your world. Look, what I don't understand is where do you fit in all of this?
We weren't sure what it meant, but someone obviously thought we were getting too close to the truth. We decided to stow away on a ship bound for the edge of our solar system. And ejected.
Hence the
Hoping
pod.
to find you, Captain. Assuming this is not just some trick to see how much we've got, if you truly don't know that your government is involved,
I don't think
Then I
they
plead with
are.
help us.
Bridge to Captain.
Yes.
Long-range scanners are picking up a ship on approach.
Identification?
Unknown.
I was wondering when you were going to show up.
You chose this. You made it inevitable.
And you, after everything you said, you sold us out.
Ah!
You tried to kill us 3 times.
Just brought you here to talk. I haven't sold anyone out.
I want the light pod recharged and ready to leave in 1 hour. If it's ready, we'll leave peacefully. If it isn't, he dies. Listen to me. 1 hour!
We've located the intruder, sir. They're on the level 14th tube.
All right, get a tactical team up there in one of the bullet cars. Frankly, the only thing I want is for the 2 of you to get the hell off my ship as fast as possible and take your conspiracies with you.
Come on. Let's go.
About 200 years ago, we first picked up communications from other worlds. We kept the specifics quiet for the reasons I told you before, but then it hit us. Aliens, or outsiders, as my people call your kind, were the perfect scapegoats for our internal problems.
Then the sightings, the evidence, it was all created by you. You set us up.
I assure you it was nothing personal.
No
haven't
civil
had
wars.
a single civil war since we instituted this new policy.
Amazing.
Not a one.
Then why go after Dracani?
Conspiracy needs true believers out to unmask it. And
Oh.
true believers need to feel
guy.
persecuted. He's even more convinced we're working together.
Yeah.
You've done us a great service.
This was such a different episode compared to all the others we've had so far. Like, this is the first one we've had really where we haven't been solely focused on trying to find some medical information to help us with the Drac Plague. So to see like this episode where we had these 2 aliens come aboard and be like, we know you've been doing all of this stuff. Here's all these images we've managed to find. I thought at first, oh, maybe like it's been a probe that's been sent out that's had images on their music and things. And it turned out it wasn't that at all. It was just this huge conspiracy on this one planet to take the focus off the government that was running the planet so that it would stop the civil wars, because the blame was being shifted to an alien race that they'd never actually met. They only had information of because of a probe they'd sent out, and it kind of quietened things down a little bit. So they were playing on it and setting up all of these scenarios because, as the guy said, they needed true believers to keep the cause and the fires burning. So they just continued doing all of these things and making some people even more paranoid about what was going on and who were the enemy and who you couldn't trust. That they all started adapting like the Earth cultures into their daily lives. So like what they would wear and the guy smoking at the end and the music that would play through the radio, and obviously messing with the other citizens' heads a little bit. It actually reminded me a little bit of like the black and white elements of like the X-Files episode Postmodern Prometheus. Like when Mulder and Scully go and meet this woman who thinks she's had this alien's baby, and they go on Jerry Springer, and there's like these elements where it kind of shifts into the black and white and stuff. It actually made me think of that a little bit, because X-Files would do like these parody episodes every now and then, and that was kind of one of them. And like there's like someone being shared at the end and things of that. So it kind of reminded me a lot of that episode from the X-Files. But this was really cool to watch. I thought it was really clever to know that there are like these aliens out there, these worlds out there that behave in this manner and put all the blame on Earth. And Gideon at the end just being like, do you know what, we're just going to blow this whole conspiracy out of the water, send the probes down, everything to do with the Alliance, get these guys knowing what's actually happening. It probably caused one hell of a shitstorm once they all found out what actually was going on. But this was so different. I genuinely didn't expect this at all, and I actually quite enjoyed it. It was quite a lot of fun. I may go watch the next one, and I will see you guys later. So thank you.